Have you seen Star Wars?
A new era of Star Wars is starting up in 2021, and it's called the High Republic, and it takes place 400 years before the Phantom Menace, at a time when the Jedi are at the height of their power, and there are no known Sith or wars to fight. And the new books start releasing in 2021, and we now have a new report from Cinelinx that are saying that there are shows that are being planned for this era in Star Wars. And they say that there are 3 animated Star Wars series in the works over at Lucasfilm, and I think we can all guess that one of them is likely a sequel to the Star Wars The Rebels series, but one of them, they say, is set in the High Republic era. Now, when Lucasfilm announced the High Republic, they said that there would be no animated shows, live action shows, or any movies for some time, or just anything planned for content like that in the High Republic era, but we all know that would change eventually. It looks like they are actually planning out how to explore that era in a different way other than the comic books and the books. So I think this means we will get the Rebels sequel series before the High Republic animated show starts up, but I also think that means we won't be seeing this High Republic show until at earliest 2024, right after the new movie that releases in 2023, and I think that's a good sign because they're technically not lying at that point. When they say there's nothing planned at the moment, it's good to look down the road and have something set up. Lucasfilm just announced the second wave of High Republic content that will release in 2022 with a book called The Rising Storm. So we know that this era, the main villains are a group called the Nile, and there's a great tragedy that starts with the conflict of the High Republic timeline. What that tragedy is, we still really don't know. It's revealed in the first chapter, and I think Light of the Jedi, and I've read that chapter, and it's basically just something that has to do with hyperspace and a ship that crashes somehow, some way, but I don't suspect we're going to hear much about that until the book comes out. We don't really know what all of that entails and why that's such a big deal in this timeline, and I don't think we're going to hear a lot about the Sith for a good while in the shows or the books, which disappoints me a little bit, but I understand they want to focus solely on the Jedi. The same report also mentions, though, there's some talk about a live-action High Republic show that could happen one day down the line, and I actually like that idea. I've always wanted to see the Jedi just be the good guys in a galaxy where we've never really seen them be the good guys in the movies. I mean, the prequels made the Jedi look stupid and blind with power. The originals had like 3 Jedi, and they talked really good about the Jedi, made them seem like they're something that you want to become. And then the sequels basically talked about how bad the Jedi are and how they ruined everything until Rey brings them back to perfection, I guess. My point is, I would like to see the Jedi just be the peacekeepers of the galaxy for a time, where there's not the fate of the galaxy is at hand, because if the Jedi don't win, the whole universe is destroyed. I just want to see them travel the galaxy, fix the problems that they can, which seems like what the High Republic will be about. It's an era where the Jedi are kind of like explorers in the Old West, traveling the world and finding new planets, and I know they also mentioned that they're supposed to explore more about the Force. All of this sounds nice, and I think if we go to an animated series, we can hopefully have something a little similar to the Clone Wars series. The Clone Wars was the defining show for Star Wars fans from 2008 to 2013, and it really kept the fan base and toy market alive for Star Wars. The High Republic could honestly do the same thing for the fan base. I don't want it to be too childish, but I think since we have so many Jedi characters, there's countless stories, ideas for animated shows, live action shows, books, so something that would appeal to young adults, kids, adults in general. And the live action show for the High Republic does happen. That could be the more mature version of the animated series if they wanted the animated series to kind of be like Star Wars Resistance, geared towards a younger audience. And what I like most about the live action one would be looking at multiple planets like Coruscant or maybe even Tython in a live action sense. I love seeing these planets fleshed out in, the real world, and seeing a lot of different Jedi and their lightsabers, something I've always wanted to see. One thing I liked about seeing Ahsoka in The Mandalorian Season 2 was her white lightsabers, and seeing the Darksaber in Mandalorian was also really cool. It would be nice to see different colored lightsabers in live action. I said when Lucasfilm announced the High Republic, this was probably the boldest idea they've had for Star Wars since the beginning of Star Wars, and right now I still stand by that. With this new era, we can set a strong base in terms of storytelling with the books and comic books, but the show will really bring in an audience for this era, and people love seeing the Jedi in action. I hope this is something that everyone enjoys. We need a new era in Star Wars to explore in this new canon, and if this is an era that's different from everything we've seen in the Star Wars universe, I think that's a good idea, and for that I commend Lucasfilm. This is different from the Old Republic. This is different from the dawn of the Jedi. This is different from the lost tribe of the Sith, the dawn of the Sith. I mean, there's so many eras in Star Wars to explore. This is something we've never really talked about even in the expanded universe, and I think that's a very good thing for Lucasfilm, and I commend them for that. I think this is a very bold idea that can pay off by bringing in new and exciting characters that show a new side of the Star Wars universe. Though I do have one wish that I really hope they end up doing, and that is exploring the Sith in this time period. I think that the Rule 2 is still the code of the Sith at this time because it's only 400 years before the Phantom Menace, so the Jedi think they are completely extinct. There are only 2 out there, and they're in hiding, but we don't know who they are or what their stories are. And I think seeing a new Sith in a new era would satisfy a lot of fans like me who crave to learn more about the dark side of the Force and why the Sith hate the Jedi, the history of the Sith, and kind of like the Darth Tenebris, who was the teacher to Darth Plagueis. That's a Sith lord that you don't know too much about, but in the expanded universe you learned a little bit about. And it's just interesting learning that side of the coin. You have the light side and you have the dark side, and often the bad guys are the cool ones, and I think it would be really cool to meet some Sith in this era, and maybe we do see them kill a Jedi or two who get stranded on a planet, and that becomes kind of like a training thing for the Sith to see if they're still able to defeat the Jedi, and then the Jedi Council and the rest of the Jedi never discover it because they think those Jedi just died off in a cave somewhere. But tell me your thoughts below in the comment section. Will you be reading the new books? Do you want to see the High Republic era in shows and maybe even in movies in the future? And what do you hope to see in this new era of the High Republic? If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe because it does help out the channel. Star Wars only. I will see you all next time, and may the Force be with you always.